Hello again and welcome to Atypical Daring Dad. My name is Sal and today we will be doing a how-to video, and we're going to learn how to use this software called Bricklink Studio. It is a building software. It is a building and designing software specifically for Lego bricks. So mom and dad, if you're an AFOL, that is adult fan of Legos, or if you have a child that loves Legos and loves building and things like that, then I highly recommend this software. First of all, it is free. This is an open source software, and you can download it for free, and it is available for Windows and Apple. Very easy to install. It's basically a one-click install, and it'll ask you for certain permissions. You say yes, and it'll do its thing. Restart your computer, and you will have this wonderful software in your computer, in your machine. It doesn't require a whole lot. I used to have an older Windows 7, Windows 8 machine that ran at least the previous versions of this just fine. We have the 2.0 here. And it doesn't look a whole lot different than the 1.0. I mean, there's some new features and a slightly better interface than what it used to be. Overall, a great, fantastic product. And by the way, parents, if you want to kind of sort of push your child into engineering without them feeling like they're being pushed, this actually might be a great way to go. Why? Because this software is very similar to using other softwares like AutoCAD, SolidWorks, or Autodesk, which I'm very familiar with. And you know what? Interacting with this software versus Autodesk is not that different. The concepts are the same. You have a 3D building plane, a 3D design plane, and you build from there. It's just the concept is the same. So why not make engineering, or at least starting engineering, a little fun for your little one? And this is a good way to go. So after installation, we come up with this welcome screen, and I always choose to keep this box unchecked. But otherwise, let's just go straight to building. You can explore this at your own leisure. But for now, let's just go ahead and get some basics down. We'll go to new here. So right away, you get this screen right here. The center screen, this is your build plane. So this is where you're actually going to see your model, where you're going to stack your bricks. You can move and rotate this around by holding down the right click. You hold it down and then you move your mouse left or right, up or down, and you'll be able to rotate it just fine. I highly recommend a mouse with a scroll wheel. You can zoom in and out with the scroll wheel. Here on your left side, we have basically all the bricks you can imagine. Every single brick that Lego has ever made, whether they're still using it or they've been discontinued, it's all right here. They do have them separated in these basic categories, so it will help to learn a little bit what these categories are, because some of the other obscure bricks are really hard to find unless you kind of know what you're looking for, or at least the name. I do highly recommend you getting used to 1x1s, 2x2s, 2x4s, or 2x3s. That's telling you the size of the brick. Okay, so for example, a typical brick you'll find almost in every single set is a 1x2 brick. They call it 1x2 because this brick right here is one stud long by 2 studs across. 1x2. Same thing if you go 2x2, like this one down here. 2 studs across, 2 studs long, 2x2. Real simple. So if you know the size of your brick, you might be able to break it down here in search. You can go 2 by 2, and it'll pull up only bricks that have that dimension, 2 by 2. So everything that's 2 by 2. Maybe you want a 2 by 2 plate. Plates are these guys. You know, basically they're just a single level of. They're not the full brick size. They're just a plate. Basically, you stack 3 of these together and you get a brick size. Okay, so let's start laying down some bricks here, and I'm going to start with this one, this 2 by 2 corner. And you left click it, and then you bring it out here. You can place it anywhere. So I'm just going to put one here. Now you'll see I'll have an opportunity to place another one. But for now, I'm just going to have this one here so you can see what's going on. So I'm going to hit escape. And now we can see our brick here. And of course, using our right click, we can rotate it, look around, look below it. You can also, if you you don't have to hold down the left click, but you can move it around again to a different spot. And once you start dragging it here, you can also use your arrow keys to do 90-degree rotations, left or right, up or down. Let's set it back up here. All right, so if you want to put another brick on top, go ahead and click on another brick and stack it on top. The escape key. Same thing here. You can remove it and drag it around, put it anywhere you want, or put it back up. You'll notice there, the software will detect where if you don't have a good placement, you have something called collision, and it'll detect collision, and it basically won't let you place it there until you put it correctly in the right place. All right, let's use our arrow keys to rotate it. And you can rotate it and do something like this. Let's rotate it again. All right, and now technically we have a build, a very, very basic build, just something for this video only. So we have 2 bricks together. Now let me show you what else you can do on your build plane. So let's set another brick there. The escape button. If you left click, you'll notice this little icon there, which is kind of a settings icon, or not a settings, but like a mod icon or a move icon. You can do one of 2 things here. You can rotate the brick, clicking on this one, or you can move the brick across an X, Y, and Z plane. So let's practice just rotating it for now. So you click rotate. Now this is more than just the 90-degree rotation I showed you earlier. You can actually rotate this whole thing all across the 360 playing field on the XYZ axis. So let's click on this one for now and just rotate it on, what would it be, the Y-axis or the X-axis? Well, the point is, we're rotating anyways. So if you click anywhere inside this area here, and you look at the numbers there, you'll see that the numbers are going up and down in increments of 5. And this is, of course, our angles, right? So we started off at 0 then. If we start off at 0, let's say I just want to move it 90 degrees, we can do so, moving it to 90 degrees, or turn it completely around to 180, we can certainly do that as well. Now, if you continue to hold the left mouse, and let's say we move outside this circle, now we go in increments of tenths. So to get some more precise angles. Typically, I don't use this a whole lot, but there might be instances where you'll probably want to use some more precise angling. Let me go back to going down to 5s here. Now, if you continue to hold the left click, and move your mouse inside this circle, then it will rotate it straight 90 degrees, just like if you had your arrow keys. Once you have the angle that you want, you let go of the left click and go back to other options of rotation. So let's just, for the sake of this video, do that, just so you can see. Now I'm switching back and forth between left and right click so that I'm changing the angles so that you can see. And you can come up with all kinds of weird angles. There will be a few instances that is needed, some weird angles, especially once you get into more advanced builds. All right, let's move on. We're gonna left click on that once and hit the delete key, and you can delete your brick. Let's try in changing colors. Okay, so let's just click on one brick. As you can see up here on the left pane, the right pane, this is where you have a lot of your color choices. It's called the color palette. And the color I'm currently using is light bluish gray, which is an actual official Lego color. But you have all kinds of colors you can choose from, whether they are official or non-official, available or unavailable. You can certainly pick any one of these colors. You can pick black, one of my favorite colors, especially for videos and screenshots, is this color here, because of its brightness, and you can see it on my screen fairly well. Let's change that one back to the light bluish gray, and let's change this one to that yellow so you can see what's going on. Another thing you can do on the building plane, once you have two Legos together, especially when you're on just a one stud connection. You won't be able to do this when there's two studs here, but if you're on a one stud, let me put that back, connection there, you can actually rotate individual bricks over that one stud, and it'll automatically select the direction which you can rotate based on the connection that you have. So you can rotate it this way and rotate it that way. Simple, right? Now let's say you want to put a new brick out there, but you want it of a different color. Yes, you can do so by, let me hit the escape there, by clicking this button here. This is also a color selector, and the exact same colors we saw here, you will see here as well. So let's just go for a blue one. And we're going to pick this one too. And we're going to lay it right on top. Now the software automatically tries to drop it within at a 90 degree on top of other bricks. So there's really not a whole lot you can do about that other than click on that one brick and set it down to where it is, basically 90 degrees to your build plane. All right. Now on your build plane, you can also select multiple bricks to modify them or move them around. See, it's gonna go back to my 90 degrees. And if I did the same thing here, it'll do it again. And that's fine. You can also rotate a group of connected Legos, and they don't even have to be connected. And there's some people that do some tricks on that, and I'll show you maybe in an advanced video. But you can rotate both of these on that one stud connection. So if you needed to rotate more than one on the same plane over the same stud, yes, you can do so. Make that kind of manipulation. All right, one more basic thing here. I'm just going to put another brick down because I wanted to show you this guy here. This allows you to move bricks on across the XYZ axes And across the z-axis, this would be the z-axis. X-axis, y-axis. This will allow you to place bricks specifically in any place that you want without having to make a connection with another brick. So we can set this over here, and I believe it'll even allow for collision. Let me try that again. Actually, it won't allow for collision, which is probably a good thing because that's more realistic anyways. So I can't go through it, but I can bring it over. There. Zoom out a little bit. Let me show you a couple other pointers, because we were zoomed in here and I couldn't see this brick anymore. What you can do is when you right click over your build plane, so not over a brick, you can reset origin. And that should put your entire build in front and center. And here you'll be able to rotate centered off your entire build. But you can also do something like set as origin. So you would select a brick, right click it, and then left click set as origin. And now your origin is now that brick. And that's where your rotation will be. By the way, I definitely recommend using softwares like these with a mouse that has a scroll, the center scroller, and that the center scroller has a button that you can push down as its own button. When you push down the center scroller, you can actually pan your entire build left, right, up, and down. Like so. All right, let's reset origin. I'm going to delete that for now. Very well. All right, so let's pretend I have this awesome build here, right? And we want to create a subsection. So you have like your entire build, and then you want certain sections to be together for easier manipulation and navigation. So I'm going to make this into not a subsection, but a submodel. You can come down here and you can create into submodel. All right, and we'll keep that name here, submodel group 1. So what's this going to do is now this whole thing is going to act as one piece. So no matter what I do here, it will always be one piece. Okay. Now I'm going to do something else here. We're going to copy and mirror, okay, to create another model, but just the mirror image of it. And you can see right here that you have a list of the parts, but in this case the submodels. Now I have this. And you can move it around just like if it's its own brick. And you can even take these submodels and connect them to other bricks like normal. Now we still have two submodels. Now let's say, for example, that maybe I needed to change a submodel. So I can double click this one and I'll enter into the submodel to make the changes that I want to make. So let's say I just want to change the color to this, or change the brick out for something else, etc., etc. We can return to the main model, and now this first submodel has been altered, and now it is what we see here. This is very useful for larger complex builds, especially if those builds, for example, I like building a lot of robots. And of course, my robots tend to be very anthropomorphic or humanoid in shape. In other words, they have arms, legs, head, torso. So I like to group the right arm as a submodel, the left arm as a submodel, and the right leg and the left leg and so forth, so that I can move those, manipulate them, and modify them as I need it as a group. So that's where something like that might come in useful. Obviously, I think at any point, throughout several points throughout during your build, you do want to save. And I'm just going to call this tutorial 1. Being that this is an open source software, it is subject to crashes and the like, but the nice thing about it is that it does have a lot of development to it. There's a lot of people putting time and effort and work into this software. There's updates coming out on this several times a year, fixing bugs, making it better, improving the interface. So even though it's free, this is very, very professionally done, and it's been around for quite a long time now. So it's obviously it has its history, and it's learned from it, and this is the result that we have. I will continue to make more tutorials about this, so I hope you'll stick around and you'll catch me in the next video. So I'm going to sign off for now, and we'll catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.